Hello, hello. We are back. Little quick little break. We just hopped from one 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆 live to another. I'm gonna make sure I can get my crap together. I think audio should be good, but if there's audio issues, we might have to end it. But I think we're good. I didn't check it beforehand, so let me make sure of one thing real quick. We are back with more 𝗠𝗲𝗃. We just finished phone calls. In the last live jail phone calls. Now we're going to finish the body cam that we started the other day. I don't remember how many days ago. We've been covering 𝗠𝗲𝗃 every day. There is a live from like I think 3 days ago where we started the body cam when she got arrested. Today we're going to watch a couple minutes of a silent transport just to feel it out, and then we'll see her in the jail when she has to go through and take off her bracelets, and then we're going to listen to an interview with Angelo, who is Dom's brother. Hold please. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. Let me make sure. So we're gonna listen to that. I know it's a late night. Thank you for being here. I haven't really done a late night live, I think, in a while, because I know, well, it's not late for me, but I know it's late for some of you guys. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Welcome back. If you are new here, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the fam. Please make sure you guys hit the like button, do all them things, check out all the 𝗠𝗲𝗃 playlists that I have. And let's get started. So this first one is another quiet transport video. We'll watch a couple minutes of that, and then we'll go from there. Let me say hello to everyone. I saw Ruth Ann. I saw Nama. Hello, hello. I saw Angel, Evie, Crease. Shout out to the mods. I saw Avril. Hi, Avril. Good to see you, love. Mally, Tasmom, Saz. Good to see you all. Okay, let's watch this first. I'll pull it up. Here is 𝗠𝗲𝗃 when she got arrested. Oh, and Jamin, good to see you, love. Make sure you guys are hitting the like. Michelle, I've missed you. Good to see you, love. It's been a while. This is 𝗠𝗲𝗃 in the cart. We did already watch some of it when she was like crying and whispering to herself. So this is just a little bit that we're gonna watch, and then we'll go on to the next part because most of it is pretty quiet. Still sun up here. Yeah, it's like late evening, but the sun is up. Hello, Care Bear. Thank you for being here. You said new here. Welcome, welcome. I appreciate it. This one, she's not really crying like the other one that we watched, but I do like to watch it just to see what she does. Or if I missed anything in the first time we watched this. Doesn't she look so different, even from those pictures that we saw in the PowerPoint of the jail calls or presentation? I know I'm a weirdo because I like to watch this, but and she looks so young, right? It's different. Is this the same right? Yeah. The right to prison to jail, sorry. Hey, Vicky. Oh, yeah, if it's buffering, just refresh. Let me know if it continues, though. Yeah, sometimes when it buffers, you just need to refresh. I don't know why YouTube does that, to be honest. I don't know what it is. Yeah, no makeup, but I just feel like she still looks, well, yeah, back then, I guess. Pretty young. She is pretty young. And the other one, she was like crying her little eyeballs out. This one, she's a little more calm. This portion of it. I wonder if she got to smoke one last time before this arrest. She's wearing regular clothes too. Crystal says she's still thinking Natalie and Steve are going to get her out, right? She probably is, though. Thank you, Bunny. Yeah, I know. The text messages do change your mind, right? About the case. Hi, Jakey. Good to see you, Liv. She knows the cameras are on. She's like, can I take a selfie? Fast forward a little bit. I don't think she cries in this one. At this point, it's been like 3 months. Oh, like 4 months since she got since that crash. Oh, another Melly says, I mentioned you on I've been meant. This is where we brainstormed and got our. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's really nice. I sound disappointed about what? It just shows who she really is, not the act she puts on her stupid, sweet, innocent. Yeah. Sweet, innocent girl. Yeah, and the other one, she was crying and talking to herself a lot. The first portion of this. Thank you, Chucks, for gifting 1 membership. I really appreciate that. Welcome, Momster, to members. Just fast forwarding it. There's no talking in this one, obviously. Who would you talk to? At least she doesn't have 1 hand of nails on. That would suck. Satan Melly says green. Oh, thank you, Indy. Indy says just found your channel today and can't leave. Yay! That's awesome. Please make sure you guys are hitting the like button. She kind of looks like she wants to cry right here. Oh, there we go. There it is. Yes, Kenzie. Yes. You're going to prison. What happened? She's done crying. She was just like a little baby. Interesting, you're crying. You want to cry here and you cry here, but not on the phone calls. Ever. She did I can't read her lips. Uh-oh. I was thinking maybe she had an idea that it was gonna happen, but no, because remember when her dad we already watched the clip of the dad in the jail, remember when he's, like, yelling? He's like, "Don't talk to my daughter," to the police. He's like, "We have a lawyer." He said in that when he was going on that rant, he was like, "You guys could have called her lawyer and set it up for her to turn herself in." So I don't think she really saw this coming at all. Yeah. Oh, okay, her little crying face. She does only cry for herself. She just makes, like, little faces, but doesn't really cry until the next clip. Who knows? We don't know everything, maybe she has been thinking, like, "I might go to jail," like, I'd be freaking out. She's thinking, "No more foot rubs, no more warm milk, no more bong rips in the closet." Mm-hmm. What's the foot rub? I'm sorry, Avril says, what's the foot rub thing? How do we say this? She would ask her dad. We did a live on this a couple nights ago, but if you want to hear all of the text messages with her dad, she asked her dad to bring her warm milk to bed between the hours of like 11 and 4 a.m. usually, and she has him rub her feet. I guess her feet hurt. She's 17 and her feet hurt, and she just needs foot rubs by her dad. We're a little uncomfortable with that here, the whole dad rubbing your feet thing, but I don't know. I guess let me know what you think of that. I'm curious. Does your dad, and I mean this to everyone in the chat, does your dad give you foot rubs? Got my dad's dude, if I told my dad to rub my feet, if I told my dad to rub my feet, like I'm just envisioning his reaction. He would literally look at me like he would probably ask me if I was drunk. He'd probably ask me if I was drunk or something. Thank you, Jakey, for being a member and a mod for, I feel like it's been longer than that. Is YouTube off again? I don't know, but I appreciate you so much. Much love. My dad would be like, you can leave now. Respectfully. I guess it's normal. It was a normal thing for them. Really, have you sent your dad a random selfie yet? No. Because Kenzie would do that too. Nope. I'm not doing it. I don't want no one rubbing my feet unless it's a masseuse. Okay. That one ends there. Let's go to the next one where there's actual talking and stuff. I just want to be nosy and rewatch that one really quick. This next one is, it's like 7 minutes. She cries when she has to remove her bracelets in jail, and then the following one is it follows that one. So let's get started on this. Hold please. Okay, tell me if you guys can still see this. My computer is being weird every time I play these clips. Okay, there we go.
Recording mounted. Wi-Fi connected. Recording mounted. Wi-Fi connected.
It's just like
Stand right by that black mat.
oh.
Straightforward. Yep. Until that door. Stuck on that yellow line. Just face the wall.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed something. Bunny Chan, thank you for Bunny. I think that was from the last live. Thank you for becoming a new member. And then Jared, thank you. Is that the wizard? No. Okay. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate you. The wizard. You guys are probably like, what?
Coming back?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. This is the
County
fact.
juvenile fact
Yeah.
sheet.
I don't know why they have like 10 of these. I think they're all the same.
Wait, it is.
Just hers.
Why did I recognize your name?
I don't know. He's coming back, I think. 11.
Hold on.
11, are you going to come back to the booking room?
Affirm. I'm on the phone with her attorney, Sarah.
Copy.
What's your first name? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Okay, Mackenzie, I'm gonna take your handcuffs off. I need like all the jewelry and everything to come off, okay?
I can't wear any of it.
No, I need you to take it off while you're in jail right now.
I can't wear these.
No, you can't.
Unfortunately, everything's gonna have to come off for right now once we know when the detective comes back and we know for sure what's going on. Everything's gonna be bagged up here. It's not going anywhere.
Wait, yes, it is. Hold on, pause. What? Jared, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize your name. I think because I'm used to your channel name. I appreciate you, Jared. Jared is from the Wizards of Radical Self-Respect channel. He's a friend of our channel, so I appreciate you, Jared. Definitely check him out. I'll drop your link. I'm like, I recognize your name, but I was thinking of your channel name. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Sorry, this is just like one of those which is really hard to get off.
That's fine. Take your time.
She doesn't want to take off her jewelry because she says that those bracelets have something to do with
Right now,
Dom,
once
but
we know when the detective comes
It's
back
jail.
and we know for sure what's going on. Everything's gonna be bagged up here. It's not going anywhere.
Sorry, this is just like one of those which is really hard to get off.
That's fine. Take your time.
I'll drop Jared's channel.
What are the green, are those extensions, clips? You're going to need to
I
take
can't
those
take
out.
them out. They're like in my like they're like in.
Okay.
Unless you have pliers, we can get them out. Whatever.
What about that tie?
Put your shirt down. For crying out loud. You're in jail. I'm rewinding. I'm nosy. Okay, that's the last time I'll rewind on
Like
that
in
part.
my
I promise.
they're like in.
Okay.
Unless you have pliers, we can get them out. Whatever.
What about that tie?
You know, I'm okay if people want to show their belly or take off their shirts, but I mean, there's a time and place for everything, right?
I'm gonna hold off and see what ends up. Because it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Oh, it's a crop top, so she really doesn't have a choice.
All right, Mackenzie, just hang out up against that wall to your right.
I gotta take her down.
He brought because
They just talk a little bit. The next one has more of her talking.
and they at least gave us a little bit more information saying that they were ready to take.
So I think he called them to verify that they were gonna take her, and they
Okay.
said yes with the
Yeah.
charges, so.
We didn't get that information, because I know Mace called us and told us a little bit, but not that, because.
Sucks for you, Kenzie.
Okay, maybe it
Which-
changed. I mean, she's
Mhm.
18 now, so.
That's the only holdup that we had, is we weren't sure if she was going to county or.
Well, I think because at the time that it, well, I'll tell you more, but, I don't know if you want to put her in a holding and,
No, we'll hold off for.
all right.
Do that now since.
Okay. That one was just a couple minutes long because the rest of it is silent in the car of just him. So now let's watch the next one is she talks about her stuff needing to stay safe. Shirilla cuff belted on 11/4. Please make sure you guys are hitting that like button. I really appreciate it. I want to go back to that. Oof. No bueno.
Okay, turn to face the wall, just put your hands up against it, I'm gonna put this belt on first.
Don't baby her. Me? Oh, I'm not babying her. Trust.
For property.
Hey, Rainbow.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll take it.
Can my mom just go from here?
You know if Juan's still in the lobby? No. Okay. She left? If county doesn't take the property, just bring it back. I already had to fill out a form, so her mom can come pick it up.
That just needs to stay safe. That's like, okay, we're allowed to have stuff for Dom, so it just needs to stay safe.
It will, regardless of what ends up happening. You want her chained up?
She said it's stuff that has to do with Dom, so it needs to stay safe.
Take the property, just bring it back. I already had to fill out a form, so her mom can come pick it up.
That just needs to stay safe. That's like, okay, we're allowed to have stuff for Dom, so it just needs to stay safe.
It will, regardless of what ends up happening.
What do you guys think about that?
This is gonna be pretty loose.
That's fine. What does the chain do?
The chain's the same as the belt, but it's just gonna be a little bit tighter, but I don't know how much this is gonna sit. I'll set your fault. All right.
I got this. I have the charge report that you have. I'm bringing down
Only other thing, the other night, sent down the ITN number for the fingerprints, because they said they might ask for it when you get down there.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
You just follow.
Bye. Oh.
The back seat right here. All right, just gonna reach across and grab that seat belt. Might be.
I'm gonna fast forward until they get to the next. Is there a next one? Yeah. I thought there was more of her. Yeah. Did we miss it? Remember, she's limping because Green asked, why is she limping? She's limping because she had just had surgery and she was doing physical therapy when she got arrested. Oh, that's my AC. When she got arrested, she was on her way, I think, to physical therapy or from physical therapy. I can't remember, like coming back from. So her legs were messed up still.
All right, step aside.
We're just waiting for a nurse to come down. Yeah. Yeah, she did. She did go to the concert. Her cranial shape is unusual. Didn't even notice that. No, I did it. I think from therapy. Yeah, you might be right. I would panic. Okay, I was just reading the comments. ATS. Bring her in there. We want to see. That big old belt on her. Really?
Are you listening because of the shoes or you listening because you hurt? Were you in a fight? No, I was in a car accident. Okay. When did this happen?
June
Okay.
or July.
Alright, so what happened today?
He is being charged.
Okay. No, they pulled my arm over. Okay. Where you coming from? Home, hospital, what? She was in a car.
She was in a car. She had just left physical therapy. We conducted a traffic stop and arrested her on the traffic stop. We had a warrant for her arrest for
She was trying to okay. She said, yeah. And her residence on the prior incident. Yes. Okay, you can, thank you. Okay.
I'm sorry?
Check that out.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, she has her green glitter hair. Gonna say bye-bye to that.
You got a shirt on up under there? You got Jerry on?
your names. Okay. Yeah, we. That they actually might be here. Oh, if they came down. Okay. That, you know, if I, let me ask you this, this is my question. If I can't contact. And they should, when they get the mail tomorrow, or put it in their door, or something where they can see it. Okay. That's there. You don't have to hand deliver to them. There's a lot, officers, either, yeah.
Kenzie went with the
Once they
nurse.
search her, you guys can.
Or what? Oh, there we go.
Since she's a female, we don't have a lot.
Yeah, we did.
I think the green glitter hair is from Halloween, but like, Jesus, you just killed 2 people. Is that what's on your mind? Put in green glitter hair or whatever it is.
Oh, they're good. All right, you guys are all set.
All right, thanks. Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Okay. That is all of the body cam. Now we're going to go over, we already did part 1 of the body cam. So that's in another live if you guys want to see the rest of that. Let's listen to the audio interview that Angela Russo did with the police. Sorry, let me pull it up. Hold, please. I thought I already had it up. Let me know if you guys can hear this. No, I'll play it another way. It might not work. Okay. Sorry, give me a sec. I did get this from Paula.
So we 29th at 14:37. So we talked to mom last week, and some of the issues that we asked about, she said you might be able to shed some more light on.
So this is like I said at the police station, Dom's brother speaking about Dom and Kenzie's relationship.
Mostly what I'm interested in is the relationship between Mackenzie and Dominic, and perhaps some of the things you might have seen or some of the things that Dominic confided in you about. Okay, we're not going to ask about anything else. It's at this point not pertinent to what we're doing.
Okay.
So my first question to you is, how long have you known Mackenzie?
She would have had to been, I forget if she was in 8th or 9th grade when she met Dom. I think, I would say since she was in 9th grade.
Okay.
Like early 9th grade, I think that they did initially meet when she was in 8th grade. And then, but like, I think they just met as like, you know, friends or whatever. But the first time I was introduced to her as like, oh, whatever, you know, this is like my girlfriend or whatever. It was, you know, like high school.
Gotcha. What was your relationship like with her? Did you talk to her?
In the earlier years of their relationship, we were like much more close. She would like come to me with a lot of stuff, like kind of talk to me like a big brother, you know. And there's many times like
We did see that in the text messages too. Remember, she would always try to get in the middle of Dom and Angelo, or like go to Angelo or hang out with Angelo when Dom didn't want to hang out with her, but
They
she
would have
was in his
some
house.
issues even years ago where Dom would want to break up with her or something, and it wouldn't be like that simple. It'd be like, you know, like from time to time again, it almost like she'd have like issues, you know, like self-esteem issues, like she'd get crazy about stuff, like accuse him of cheating and stuff when he's not, you know what I mean, stuff like that. And just then for a while, you know, I would talk to her, and you know what I mean, then it would be like not constant, but there'd be like every like week, like couple weeks at one point, or like week or so, where they were almost breaking up, and then she'd be threatening to hurt herself. And this is back when she's in probably
Natalie Shirilla said that Kenzie was never suicidal or threatened any of this. So,
what I mean, then it would be like not constant, but there'd be like every like week, like couple weeks at one point, or like week or so, where they were almost breaking up, and then she'd be threatening to hurt herself. And this is back when she's in probably 10th grade, like she's still a sophomore. Dom's like a junior or senior or whatever, you know. And like yeah, stuff would arise, and it would like never really take like a healthy course, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And over time, my relationship with her really subsided. I stopped talking to her. I stopped like really trying to be there for her, because ultimately I just seen that she was very, very selfish. You know what I mean? Like for me, you know, like there's two types of love that you give somebody, and it's like I love that person unconditionally, and I want to see them prosper and be happy no matter what that entails for me. And there's a type of love that's selfish and restricted, and I want them all to myself. And that was Kenzie with Dom.
Angelo makes such a good point. That was Kenzie with Dom. She was not going to have anyone be with Dom other than
The
her.
latter, not the first step. There was times where even in later years where, you know, Dom's old enough to like, you know, like he wasn't of drinking age, but he can go to bars and hang out and stuff, even though he couldn't like drink and stuff. And there would be times, you know, that one of my friends, because I'm 23, would be having a birthday party, and she would like forbid him from going, and it'd be all just my buddies, you know, because she'd be like, oh, there's probably going to be girls there. Well, if it's a bar, there's probably going to be girls there, yes, and there's probably going to be men there. It's going to be it's a public place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she got weird over him going to public places, would like a lot of stuff.
Okay.
But all of that stuff like led me from distancing myself from her, because it just became a thing where I couldn't help her in my eyes, because she was always stuck on like a selfish path, like wouldn't like listen to me or take my advice, you know. And even like even in like the aspect of like it's better to have loved and lost and never have like loved at all, you know. She never got that. It's always like no,
Wow.
blah 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 blah, like I'll never let him go kind of thing.
Gotcha. So let's go back to the crazy part. You mentioned that anytime Dom would kind of want to break up with her, she kind of would go crazy. Describe crazy, like what kind of crazy?
Like there is times where she called Dom and said, if you break
This part is important because remember in the documentary when they ask her, "Oh, they ask her, do you remember feeling like out of control when you were mad with Dom or etc." And she's like, "No, we would fight and then we'd be okay and then we'd be eating popcorn on the couch."
like even in like the aspect of like it's better to have loved and lost and never have like loved at all, you know, she never got that. It's always like, no, blah 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 blah, like I'll never let him go kind of thing.
Gotcha. So let's go back to the crazy part. You mentioned that anytime Dom would kind of want to break up with her, she kind of would go crazy. Describe crazy, like what kind of crazy?
Like there is times where she called Dom and said, if you break up with me, I'm going to kill myself. Word for word. And then Dom, he was a very, very selfless person. And he did like, obviously like they were together for a long time and they built like a relationship and they cared for each other deeply. You see what I'm saying? And even though Dom did care for her deeply, I'm not disputing any of that, but he's seen all the toxicness that she was putting onto him. And every single time he would try to distance himself like from that and say, hey, we could be friends, this and that, blah blah blah, still here for you, like, you know, but like I want to break up or whatever, she would say stuff like that.
So how do you know that, if you don't mind me asking? So she told you, or
she's
just
told me, he's told me, they both told me.
Wow.
Okay.
Like this is her not recently, because like I said, like we haven't been you know, close in like a long time. But I mean, I've gotten like new phones since, so I don't have like text the records on here. But if you went through the service provider or whatever, you can even find text records a couple of years ago of just like me having long paragraph texts with her telling her like this and that and trying to like be accommodating and nice to her about stuff and her just not listening to a word I'm saying. And I mean, this is a while ago.
On that note, before we go, have you had the same number, even though you got a new phone? Has you saved that number? What is your phone number?
It gets quiet when they share personal information, so don't think it's me.
So when was the last time she kind of expressed that to you about wanting to kill herself if Dom left her?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Like I had her on Snapchat, blocked her on Snapchat.
So do you guys think Kenzie was trying to unalive herself too? Or just Dom and Davion and she figured if she survives, she survives?
For a while, I had her phone number blocked because even I'd be with Dom and she would nonstop blow up my phone trying to say like, where is he, blah, blah, blah. Like, he'd miss one of her calls. He'd be driving or something. And he'd miss like one of her calls and I'd have to call her on my phone and be like, hey, relax, we're going to get some food. And it'd be like even that would be like a thing. You know what I mean?
Where was she living at the last, 6 months or so?
Pretty much. I mean, pretty much I've seen her at Dom's house like every night almost, you know?
Remember, Natalie's like, she would stay over there. And we're like, no, she moved in. She forced herself to move into Dom's. He wasn't ready for it. She physically forced herself into Dom's house to move in with him. And shout out to 𝗶𝗶𝗃 for being here. I appreciate you very much. And also for shouting me out earlier, JFK.
Even like at times when like me and him, because Dom like making music and stuff. So every time like me, him, and his buddy Blair, we all like sing together and stuff like that. We'd be in this room with the mic and all that, making music, and she's just sleeping on the couch by herself. Like it's like, I don't know if that's like, I never really asked Dom like is she living here or anything, but she's definitely at his house way more than her own, even at night times and stuff like that.
Do you know if she has any property at the house? Clothes, makeup, stuff like that?
Oh yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still all there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I went through that.
Anything. I haven't
Yeah.
been able to.
Yeah.
I did at one point want to gather.
That's Miss Russo in the background. And yes, Kenzie, I can't remember what year through the text messages, but we're going through 2021 right now. So we'll see. Was it 2021 that she moves in? We might be coming up on that on the reading. We'll be doing text messages tomorrow.
Stuff up and I just couldn't do, I haven't been in there since I, got as close to the funeral. I just mentally and emotionally can't do it. So.
Has anyone else had access to the house?
Just me.
Just you two, okay.
I haven't been in there in like a month
keys.
either, honestly. It's been hard for me, honestly, too.
Yeah.
But
Has her attorney reached out to you about the, because they have reached out to me and I said, we're not getting involved in this.
Oh, to try to go over there?
Yeah, because they wanted her driver's license. And we said, first, her dad reached out to us a couple of times. And I said, at best, you can come request an escort. We'll call Ms. Russo. If she says yes, we could arrange it. If she says no, we're done. And then last time when he was kind of getting under my skin, I said, no, we're not getting involved in this. And so he had his lawyer call me. And it was the old lawyer from Columbus. And I said, I told him the exact same thing. I said, this is not a criminal matter. We're not going.
It's just contradictory because even in the fight, you know, that fight that's in the documentary where she threatens to key his car, it's all under the videos tab, by the way, without commentary. And she says, you can't lock me out of my house that I've been living at. Remember? So again, Natalie Shirilla was kind of not being honest about her living with Dom because she was.
This civil stuff right now, emotions are high. The Russos are grieving. This is not the right time to get her driver's license. Yeah, I mean,
No.
it's just so I know her DL is still in Dom's house.
But why wouldn't anybody even say anything to me? And let me tell you, that rotten son of a bitch father of hers never said a freaking word to me. I bumped into them at the cemetery. Of course, my place I have to bump into them. And
She's talking about Steve. Let me get my
Columbus, and I said, I told him
Uh-oh.
the exact same thing. I said, this is not a criminal matter. We're not getting in the middle of this civil stuff. Right now, emotions are high. The Russos are grieving. This is not the right time to get her driver's license. Yeah, I mean, it's just so I know her DL is still in Dom's house.
But why wouldn't anybody even say anything to me? And let me tell you, that rotten son of a bitch father of hers never said a freaking word to me. I bumped into them at the cemetery. Of course, my place I have to bump into them. And that bastard never even said, hello, how are you? I'm sorry. Nothing. Nothing. Radio silence. Not a word.
If it came to it, would you have a problem with us coming over and just taking some pictures of her things in there?
Or if you want to take fresh
you
pictures,
take them,
just get them to us.
or if you're okay to go in there
To
I
show
know
her
I'm-
living there.
Yeah, we really want to show
Makeup, you know, what clothes does she have, like a jacket, or does she have like, you know, underwear and stuff where it establishes
toothbrush,
residence.
makeup, right?
She had clothes at my house, which remember, I always maintained the room for Dom. His own
Right.
room, it's still there. But she had clothes at my house. I would be washing clothes and I was washing her clothes. I can say that. And that was before he even moved next door, which we kind of just considered it all our big house because he just could not sleep in the same house with Christopher. They just had a conflict and it just stressed him out too much. So
Well, and it's kind of nice that it was right next door and he could just stay there and
and come over for breakfast and dinner and the whole bit. And,
We just want to establish that.
Yeah, but it was their property. Like Kenzie and Steve and Natalie should have monitored and parented her on that.
We want to show that proceeding to
it's
crash.
multiple places, so you know. So there's, I remember seeing shoes in the living room. I know there was purses in the back room because when we were looking for his clothes and shoes, that's when I brought it up. And then I would like I was ready to just take it and throw the stuff out. And then I said, well, I don't know where this came from. I don't know who gave it to her. And I just put everything back. So I have touched the stuff,
Yes,
but
okay.
I left it where I found
I
it.
got it.
And then, so at least in 2 rooms for sure.
Yeah, if you can maybe either take a recording of it or take pictures of it, you know, we just want to be able to establish, hey, you know, because her dad slip of a tongue, and he's like, oh, she's been living with the Russo, and then mom right away kind of jumped in, was like, no, she just visited him.
No.
Something else too is I know this isn't like, I mean, obviously that you're gonna protect your own daughter in this like instance, but I had a buddy who like went and seen Kenzie in the hospital actually, and was like, you know, how's it going, blah blah blah. And then as soon as something did come up about the crash, her mom like shut it down and said like, oh, we can't speak of any of that because of like legality matters. there was a point in time where I was texting her mom directly about her daughter's problems, about like Kenzie's problems, saying like this and that. Like I remember at the time her parents were trying to give her antidepressants, okay? And she was already getting antidepressants since I believe middle school. All right. And
This part, antidepressants since middle school.
and you know, like teenage girls, you know, they have a lot of drama going on. And to me, to be honest, like her drama didn't seem.
I want to know more about that, and I wonder if that's going to come into play in the next appeal.
We're trying to give her antidepressants, okay? And she was already getting antidepressants since I believe middle school. All right. And you know, like teenage girls, you know, they have a lot of drama going on. And to me, to be honest, like her drama didn't seem any more than a normal teenage girl that just might be like a little high strung. Do you see what I'm saying? So she was on, I think it was Zoloft or Prozac, one of the two, I forget, for like over a year. And well, she hasn't taken them in forever either. But this is back in, I think.
Okay, let's dissect that. She's been on them since high school, since middle school. She stopped taking them. I'm really wondering how much of this we'll hear about in the future. Yikes, those are heavy meds for growing, developing brain, going through puberty too. Very interesting. I forget
Strong.
that part.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
We have played this a lot on my channel, I think like 3 times, but again, with everything coming out and sometimes we miss details.
and you know, like teenage girls, you know, they have a lot of drama going on. And to me, to be honest, like her drama didn't seem any more than a normal teenage girl that just might be like a little high strung. Do you see what I'm saying? So she was on, I think it was Zoloft or Prozac, one of the two, I forget, for like over a year. And well, she hasn't taken them in forever either. But this is back in, I think, 8th grade or something, 9th grade, that she quit. And then I started talking to Kenzie about it, and Kenzie was telling me that the pills, you know, made her.
That bothers me because I'm big on that. Sorry, I can't get my camera to work, but it bothers me because I'm big on mental health, and we've talked about it here. Like, okay, if you have a mental health issue, then take care of it, right? As an adult, you can do that. But when you're living with your parents and you're still a teenager, a child, in my eyes, I still think 18 is probably not the way I was acting in high school, but I think that she's still a child, a kid, and they should be on top of that, I think. That's just my opinion,
Feel
though.
worse. I started talking to her mom about that, and her mom just kind of had this attitude like, "Don't tell me how to raise my daughter." And I'm like, "Well, I'm actually like, not to say too much, but I'm a psychology minor, so it's like I know a little bit about this stuff." And she doesn't have any, you know what I mean? She doesn't seem like she had any issues. You know what I mean?
So
I don't know. I feel like maybe, you know, obviously being exposed to antidepressants, but you don't really need them, might have.
do you know from
messed her up in some way? I don't know.
do you know from what was your relationship like with Dominic? Were you guys close? Did he confide in you? Okay.
Yeah.
So would you say it's fair that Dominic perhaps shared some, I don't say secrets, some brotherly information with you about her? Like, hey man, you know, like, geez, can't put up with this, or I'm worried about my safety. She's a crazy driver. I don't want to get in the car with her. Anything of that sort?
There was multiple times, even in the month of July, that he was trying to break up with her.
They're not heavy meds, but we don't know the background to it, right? We don't know what else she was doing. We don't know what she needed. Was she misdiagnosed? A lot of time, even with adults, you get misdiagnosed. And so I'm just wondering, like, yeah, there are medications, people need them. I get that. I did actually work for Big Pharma, so I guess to some aspect I do support it. But I just feel like maybe there's something else. Maybe she was supposed to be on them still or something different, you know?
Really?
Yeah, like literally just even last month.
That would be July.
2 months ago. Well, the month
Yeah.
before he died, you know what I mean? That's what
Yeah,
that's
prior
what I
to
meant.
the
Yeah.
crash. Yeah, we got you.
Can you tell me more about that? Whatever you know.
There was I know that you've probably already spoken about this, but there was an instance literally the week or a couple days before the crash that she was hitting him on the highway while driving on the highway, and he had to pull his car over on the side of the highway.
Okay, we're gonna restart that part over because Natalie said that this incident on the highway was actually Dom's fault. So let's hear what Angelo has to say.
Whatever you know.
There was, I know that you've probably already spoken about this, but there was an instance literally a week or a couple days before the crash that she was hitting him on the highway while driving on the highway, and he had to pull his car over on the side of the highway, not in a very safe parking spot either, and have somebody else come pick them up and drive the car home because he was scared that she was going to make him crash. And that was just prior to the day before the actual crash where she was driving.
Mhm.
That's different.
That's
than
different than the
highway
one,
on the
okay.
highway.
So that's a different highway one where
Because
Where
under
Dominic
that one, she
was-
was driving, right?
Right.
And
So
she-
under this one, he was driving.
Yes, the highway thing before the crash, he was driving, she was hitting him.
Okay.
He's driving, she's hitting him. He has to pull over on the side of the highway to avoid
Okay.
any possible.
and how do you know about
whatever.
this? What's your
I-
source of information?
I was actually I was already on vacation, right? I'm pretty sure. I was out of town, or else he probably would have just called me.
Okay.
But I was in Florida. So he called up a family friend, and his name's Chris. And
Frenchman?
yeah.
They already know. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because my text is to her.
Well, I'm
I
not gonna
wrote
sit here and
Hench.
call him Hench. you
Well,
know?
they already
Yeah,
know he's
we
calling
have. Well,
Hench.
it's in the text. To
Yeah.
refer to
Okay,
him
well
as
then
Hench,
he called Hench and said, "Hey, can you come pick me up?" And Hench came and picked him up. And then I heard about it. I don't know if he even really. I was still in Florida when he passed.
Okay. And so
he
these
didn't
are
really-
two
he didn't really
different
talk to me
incidents,
about it,
right?
but I talked to Hench about it. I talked to her about it, and that's one thing I didn't hear from him. But I wasn't in town.
Okay.
You know?
But you heard it from Hench that.
And
you know,
he's alive and it gets personal knowledge of
Okay.
that. So he's picked him up twice. I didn't know about that one when we interviewed.
Right, we just knew about, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so two, all right.
yeah, probably
And,
have to
and
talk to
Hench picked him up from both of
in-
those.
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah,
Hench
we
picked
got
him
it.
up twice.
Yeah, because remember the
So-
time,
So it did happen twice.
when I was gonna, it was that Sunday when it was raining, you were in town. I was in the garage, had that testing the next day, and she was threatening to crash the car, kill them on the highway, and I had to have Hench go get him then in the pouring down rain in my car.
Is it the same situation? Am I just like mixing it up?
No, because she was driving, and this time Dom was driving.
Yeah, one time she was behind the wheel, and then the other time Dom was behind the wheel. We knew a lot about the one when she was behind the wheel. I don't think there's a whole lot that I've found yet in
Yeah, I'm
her
pretty sure.
phone that
Well,
talks
listen,
about that one.
I heard it from someone else, so it has me questioning if I have my story mixed up. But no, I'm pretty sure I was told that he was driving.
Okay.
And he was.
That's okay, we'll
We
clear it
can-
up with Hench.
Yeah, we can double check
Okay.
with Hench, see here.
He'll
I don't
talk
want
to
to.
us.
I don't want to give
Yeah,
misinformation.
No,
you know?
that's fine. That's not a problem. So let's go back to the whole breakup scenario. So we've established that.
2 times is just like, whoa, again, we said this yesterday. I think a vehicle can be used as a weapon, and those are serious issues. I wish they would have just been separated somehow.
Dominic, and from your firsthand knowledge, Mackenzie would threaten to hurt herself and Dominic should he broken up with her.
Yes.
And now we know, Dominic mentioned it to you that he plans on breaking up with her. Did he tell you?
I
How
might
did-
even. I might even be able to look at some text right now about it. I don't really know if he.
See, Dom was already done with her. Angela
Himself
just
and
said
Dominic,
that.
should he broken up with her.
Yes.
And now we know, Dominic mentioned it to you that he plans on breaking up with her. Did he tell you?
I
How
might
did-
even. I might even be able to look at some text right now about it. I don't really know if he told me, if it was on a phone call.
But it's firsthand.
He
Is what I'm
expressed it
trying
to
to
me multiple times.
understand. It's he told you directly, like, Angelo, can't do this shit.
Honestly,
anymore."
like it's heartbreaking to me because like the day before I went to Florida, which is the last time I seen him face to face, he was really just talking to me about about how he can't keep letting Kenzie run his life, but not even an aspect like that. Like he said, all right, for example, how I was saying how he can't go to he can't go out with even me occasionally because she's upset about it and this and that. He said that she holds him back.
You
Like, he was
guys,
talking about
if your partner doesn't let you hang out with your family, that is called, what is the word? Isolating. You know what I mean? She wanted him all to herself. wasn't gonna let anyone
you know, like traveling,
in
I
on
was
it.
saying like, hey, let's go on some vacations together, you know, this and that. He was talking to me like just me and him, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Let's go and let's go see some stuff and go like live it up. And I don't know. He was just telling me about how he wants to travel the world too, which has always been one of my dreams, to travel like the world, you know. And like I think he was really honestly finally getting to the point to where like even if she was like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna hurt you," he would have like maybe even taken that chance because it's been going on for like 2 years.
Have
It's
you
really going on for like 2 years. Like they'd be good for like a month or two. Like sometimes they'd have 2-3 fights in a week.
have you ever seen them going at it, fight?
I think we can clarify that it wasn't two to three times a week. It was almost every day, if not every other day, that they had some kind of fight.
Yes.
Maybe in the house?
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
describe what was it like?
She honestly, like, he'll be like, dude, he would be so nice and as accommodating as possible to stop the fight. And she'd be one of those people that is just petty. You know what I mean? Just to like to the fullest extent. He'd be like, "What's upsetting you? I'll fix it." You know? And then she would just have some like slob comment. I can't even quote her word for word, but he's just like I remember times him like expressing to me how frustrated that he was, saying, "I do every single thing I can for this girl. I ask her what's upsetting you, I'll make it better, this and that, blah blah blah," and she finds like any single thing just be mad at me about. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I witnessed it a lot too. Like I don't know.
Did
Even
you
just
ever
stuff with
Did you ever see her hit him? Put her hands on him,
her hit him.
like just go, or throw stuff at him, or
No.
Actually, now that you
no.
say that, I remember several times now, because my memory's getting jogged, that he would say, "Mom, can you get Kenzie out of here? She's
Refusing to leave and stuff.
refusing to leave. She's out of control. She's hit me." I do remember that. And
I never
and then I
witnessed
would
it.
get on the phone and say, "Just leave and go home."
There's multiple times, even pretty like recently before all this, that Don would have to call Kenzie's parents, call her mom and stuff, and say, "Hey, you need to come get Kenzie out of here. Like she's refusing to leave my house. She's being crazy."
That's the problem. This right here is a problem with Natalie and Steve, in my opinion. I'm not trying to be like a bully, but if they were getting calls about their daughter and they knew she had issues, they should have definitely stepped in.
Leave and go home.
There's multiple times, even pretty like recently before all this, that Don would have to call Kenzie's parents, call her mom and stuff, and say, "Hey, you need to come get Kenzie out of here. Like she's refusing to leave my house. She's being crazy." And it'd be a situation where they'd be in a fight. Like, keep in mind something stupid that she started. And he's like, "Listen," he's like, "just go home."
Yeah, she did start it. And thank you, 𝗶𝗍𝗍, for becoming a new member. I really appreciate you. I'm glad you're here. It's nice to have you here.
He's like, we'll hang out tomorrow. It'll be like a whole like new thing. He finally like get her out. She'd be the type to show back up at his house, pounding on his window. "No, I'm coming in, blah blah blah. We're talking this shit out right now." You know what I mean? It's like, dude, there's times where that happened and we were in the house hanging out with him. He's like, "Okay, you guys just gotta go home." You know what I mean? I gotta talk to her. And it's like I don't know, just really everything behind it. The number one word for it is like selfish and self-centered. You know what I mean? Like doesn't really know how to like go through arguments properly. Doesn't know how to do stuff like healthily. Wants to.
Would you attribute any of that to her age? What was there, 2 years between her and Dom?
Yeah,
about 2 years.
But
because early on, you knew her when she was pretty young, 9th, 10th grade-ish. But let's talk about maybe the last year. Did
her
like
personality get worse, or has it always been
an
steady?
immaturity thing?
So earlier
or was
years,
it more of just an unstable thing?
Earlier years, I just had more of a relationship with her as her big brother, so I just knew more of what was going on with her, like directly from her.
Yeah.
Okay, but her behavior never really got better. To me, it almost just got more drastic.
Okay.
Like before, when she was younger, 9th, 10th grade, she would go home when they were fighting, whatever, and then be texting him saying, "Oh, I'll hurt myself, blah, 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 blah." And then he's like, "Okay, please don't. We can work this out, whatever, But then it came to the point where she's 16 now, she's driving, she's 17, she's even older, She's driving back over, she's banging on windows, like perfect.
Ooh, so Angelo's, I'm gonna rewind that, says, what he's saying is basically like she was getting worse. not better, clearly. Thank you, Abuelita. Abuelita's buying me my coffee. She said a little cafecito because you guys know I love that. Thank you, Abuelita. Appreciate you. This is very sad.
Saying, "Oh, I'll hurt myself, blah 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 blah," and then he's like, "Okay, please don't. We can work this out, whatever, you know." But then it came to the point where she's 16 now. She's driving. She's 17. She's even older, you know. She's driving back over. She's banging on windows. Like her behavior became more erratic. Maybe also because she had more ways to let it out and to show that, you know what I mean, and to come over or whatever. But no, she at first there'd be like when it
She
first
lives
started.
close to you guys too. She's just on the street there, so.
So, Angelo, have you ever been a passenger while she was driving?
Oh my gosh, I can't, no, never once.
Okay. Do you know anything about her driving? Anybody ever describe her driving to you?
I mean, she's told me, I've heard her say that she thinks she's a great driver. I forget who told me. I don't think it was Don. It might have been his buddy Blair told me that she's a terrible driver. No, never really like. I'd have to bring it up. I didn't really internalize it if I did have a convo about her driving. All I know is I never really wanted to get in the car with her, just because like not like saying like, oh, she's crazy and she'll crash the car on purpose or something. Like obviously I wasn't thinking that at the time, but just her high strung anxiety, like she's just like a really high strung person. I don't know if that's the kind of person I want to be in the car with. You know what I mean? She kind of like has moments where she like obviously like loses her composure.
It's fun. We'll listen to Tyler's interview as well. And Tyler is her boyfriend before Dom. And he basically says kind of along the same lines. And thank you, Jakey. I appreciate you. 20 kisses from Ellie. Can I have some more milk, please? Anyone? Someone?
Now I just have to repeat what he says. Is that bitch drives crazy. She would be speeding. And and he said
I would hear about her speeding and driving crazy too. Actually,
him and Dom would bitch at her about the speeding.
Who did you say went to West Virginia with them?
Oh, it was Florida, the mother.
Oh, Florida. That was her mom, but didn't your ex and somebody go down and meet them down? You met them down. Did she fly to Florida? Her and Dom fly to Florida? They drove?
They drove together like two
They
cars.
drove in tandem with, so it's her and Dom and then her mom and, okay. But you guys flew down and met them down there?
No, we also drove.
Oh, you did drive? Okay.
Yeah, me and my dad, we already had I guess they already had some trip planned. They were going to Orlando. And my dad wanted to, we never took like a vacation, just me and him. So he's like, hey, let's get in my car. We'll go hit Destin, go see your Aunt Sherry. And then Clearwater was right in in between.
Yep.
Like Fort Myers and Orlando. So we met in Clearwater. I don't know, for a day, you know, like me and my dad, Dom, Kenzie's mom, her mom, and her sister.
Okay.
What was she like down there?
The
If you
reason,
remember.
oh, go ahead. I don't interrupt.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think. I remember it was like a huge project. We barely even got to hang out because we got down there. You know, Clearwater, it's busy, right? So Kenzie's driving, right? Kenzie refused to let Dom drive, and so she's driving the car, and so we're going this way. There's a big like roundabout on the main road of Clearwater. And it goes in both directions, and most of the shops are all like this way. So going down the roundabout, we kept saying turn right, right? She went around the roundabout twice, like ended up going like had to turn back around, come back and missed it again. And then before she finally went the right way, we're turning around saying just stay where you're at. We'll just come like come to you. We're driving back. They don't listen. Keep driving this way. Now they're over here. Now we got to come back. It took us 45 minutes just to even figure out where they were going. Then we didn't even get parked together, okay? Because then after all this driving around and all this trying to figure out like how to pull up next to each other, finally Kenzie just decides that she's starving and needs something to eat. And Dom says, okay, now I have to take Kenzie to get some food.
I can't even in front of your boyfriend's family. I know she's a kid or young, whatever, but like, wow, she did this all the time with their family too. She created a lot of problems when they were going on trips when Dom wanted to do something without her, when he wanted to spend time with his family, which is really sad because the last year of his life, his family was trying to spend a lot of time with him. And because Kenzie was unhinged and controlling, he couldn't. Dom wanted to spend time with his family and he ended up losing his life and he didn't get that opportunity. It's really, really sad. Thank you, Amanda, for becoming a member. I appreciate you. So it's very sad.
Saying just stay where you're at. We'll just come. We'll just like come to you. We're driving back. They don't listen. Keep driving this way. Now they're over here. Now we got to come back. It took us 45 minutes just to even figure out where they were going. Then we didn't even get parked together, okay? Because then just after all this driving around and all this trying to figure out like how to pull up next to each other, finally Kenzie just decides that she's starving and needs something to eat. And Dom says, okay, now I have to take Kenzie to get some food. And
So when you and your dad drove down, you did not caravan with them. You were on your own timeline, essentially.
yeah, we were just meeting at the beach, you know.
Okay.
And we all met up in one spot before going to the beach. And we just decided they decided more like it'd be easier to just drive separate.
Did Dom tell you anything about her driving down there? We heard an incident that happened on the way to Florida. Did he mention anything to you about that?
So an incident driving twice in the highway. One when Dom was driving, one when Kenzie was driving, and then another one when they went to Florida.
Driving.
Incident on the way to Florida?
Tell me about her driving.
Say something about it. You might like jog my memory. I'm not really sure.
Just, the unsafe driving to where, speeds and, kind of closing up on people to where he might have not felt safe to actually come back. Anything about that?
I think I remember him saying something to me about how he drove mostly.
Okay.
And because it was more comfortable, but I don't think he went into detail about it. Did something to you about it or something? No. Has anybody, or is that just like?
No, again, one of the things is we got a lot of the kids telling us things, and we're just trying to sort what.
I think he told me he drove mostly
He drove
the whole
most
way.
of it. Okay.
So like obviously though, in that like obviously you split up driving unless you just feel more comfortable driving. So that kind of already like let me know. I mean, I don't know. I was nervous to begin with, and so was my dad even before like they left, saying Dom and Kenzie driving, just them, because like Kenzie's, we've already said enough about like her driving, and then Dom, it's not like he's the greatest driver either. Like he's a decent driver, but he's got all this hair in his face and stuff and brushing his hair, like trying to see and shit. It's like I was nervous about either of them driving all that distance, to be honest, but not like in terms of Dom being crazy or anything, just like know,
so
being lackadaisical.
I got
how
you.
he is sometimes.
So the just to be kind of very clear cut with this, recently, I'd say maybe 2022, did Dom say anything to you about being concerned for his safety? Not maybe something malicious, but something like, hey, you know what, this girl's gonna get herself killed or get somebody killed or get some innocent driver or pedestrian, somebody killed because of her driving. Anything that maybe, any conversations like that between just, two brothers, chopping it up?
She'd make threats. He'd definitely say that she's the kind of person to follow through with those threats.
He believed she would follow through?
Ooh, threats, follow through.
Yeah, not like, I mean, obviously everybody makes false threats and empty threats and stuff like that. But some of the stuff he would or she would say, I do remember him telling me, yeah, Kenzie's crazy. She would actually probably do that shit.
So since the crash and the passing of Dominic, has she been in contact with you? Has she reached out to you?
She texted me multiple times. I could read you the text word for word. She never once said, I'm sorry for your loss. She never once said, I'm so sorry for what happened. She never once took any responsibility, not even having to take any responsibility, just saying, I'm sorry Dom's gone. like anything.
Mhm.
But she asked me for forgiveness about 10 times, saying,
Really?
I hope that you forgive me. I still want to be a part of your family. Listen, I'll just show you the text and make it easy. I would rather you see the text because these disgusting.
Well, he's looking for that, so I don't forget. I don't even know if this is even relevant.
I didn't even open the last ones. I'm opening them now though for you guys. But these literally disgusted me.
Oh, wow.
We went canoeing last year. I took off work. I went to court, and we were all four, me and Dom and Mackenzie were going to go canoeing. So I packed snacks for the canoe and cooler and all that. So we had a bag that had like chips and that sort of thing that was supper you didn't put in the bags because so they crush. Well, we forgot. She ruined the entire canoe trip. She sat there and threw a fit that we had forgotten those chips, that she had nothing to eat.
Tantrum.
And
Wow.
I kept saying, we're enjoying our day. There's no fighting. We will find something for you to eat. You know, we even stopped at the one bar. Remember
She
that?
was not satisfied.
The fact that everyone has to walk on eggshells is just absurd.
With anything.
No, nothing. It didn't matter what
Yeah.
I had. It was not, she did not have those chips. Okay. So we ended up stopping at one of the places that was like a bar restaurant or whatever, and finally fed her or whatever. But the whole and Dom was just stressed out this whole time,
Mhm.
just because she was so pissed about those chips. And the thing, she was very
Just some chips.
crafty on how she would do stuff, because she would stick her dig. Me and Andrew in a canoe, they're there. She would stick her digs and her comments so that we couldn't hear. And
Mhm.
all I would ever say, I always try to be neutral, because I'm always thinking, well, these kids are going to break up, but they're going to get back together, and I'm going to say something that's going to damage the whole thing. And I would just say, there's no fighting. We're having a great day. We're canoeing. We'll get through it. We'll find you something to eat. Don't worry. You know what I mean? And it was just a big tantrum. I mean, everything was a tantrum. You forgot chips. Okay, I get it. Do you know what I mean? But that is not enough to be
Right.
a tantrum to ruin the day.
Okay.
So Dom was 20, right?
Oh,
He couldn't even come next door to eat his mom's
so they're
dinner.
trying to cater to her and like please her because they love Dom and they know that's his girlfriend, and my heart breaks for them.
And it was just a big tantrum. I mean, everything was a tantrum. You forgot chips. Okay, I get it. Do you know what I mean? But that is not enough to be
Right.
a tantrum to ruin the day.
Okay.
So Dom was 20, right? He couldn't even come next door to eat his mom's dinner half the time because Kenzie would cry about how her food would have to be like gluten-free, everything, like all that, you know? And as a 20-year-old kid, and he's like the man, you know, and he's cooking for her every single night. And then also like, even just in terms of like relationship, not even like anything to do with anything else, I witnessed so many times her, like him saying to her, like, I cook for you every night. Can you at least just like clean some stuff or like, do the dishes? And then she'd be like, make it like a thing. Like, this is like one of the things where I'm saying that she's petty. But she'd be like, oh, I'll do the dishes after you start being nice to me again. And he's like, how am I being mean to you or something? It'd be like, it wouldn't even make any sense. It'd just be like, okay, like I'm going home. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of these days. I'm just going home, you know?
Can we see those texts when she did not express
Oh, yeah.
you know,
First-
remorse or apology or anything?
First, I wanted you to kind of note how long it was since we talked before this. She texted me on August 6th, okay? Before that, the last time she texted me was May 7th.
Okay, let me
So-
write this down. So May 7th.
Was the last time she texted me, and it was just to say Dom's phone died. The
Okay.
last time she texted me before that was she was asking me if I could do homework for her because she was too lazy to do her math work.
Wow.
And
So,
I mean, honestly, like, I
so
mean,
May 7th, and then when was the next time after May 7th? What was the date?
August 6th, when
That was
after the
day-
crash.
I think
Okay.
that was the day she got her phone back.
And
Okay.
you could read it. This is what she said word for word.
August.
You want to read it out loud
Yeah.
so you can hear it?
No,
Hey,
it's okay.
I'll read it for here. It says, "Hey Angelo, that's August."
Wait, I see that Alexis says, and the police report statement, Natalie said she was suicidal. That's why they were trying to keep her in the hospital right before Dom's funeral. Okay. Yes, that's true. But if she was suicidal and they knew it, then they shouldn't have allowed her to move in with him at 17 if her mental health issues were not under control.
After May 7th. What was the date?
August 6th, when
That was
after the crash.
I think
Okay.
that was the day she got her phone back.
And
Okay.
you could read it. This is what she said word for word.
August.
You want to read it out loud
Yeah.
so you can hear it?
No,
Hey,
it's okay.
I'll read it for here. It says, "Hey Angelo, that's August 6th, 4:14 p.m. Hey Angelo, I don't know if you hate me, but tomorrow for the funeral, would you be able to go in Dom's room and grab some photos from his desk for me and him so I could put them into the casket so he can be with me forever.
Doesn't say sorry, doesn't say nothing, doesn't say anything. It says, hey, Angelo.
Yeah, she wanted her pictures of her and Dom to go into his casket. I mean, how disturbing to even try to do that after being arrested and after everything you've done, and to have your friend go to the funeral when you were banned from it, basically, by the Russos.
I don't know if you hate me, but can you go grab pictures of us and put them in his casket so I could be with him forever? How, like, honestly, how psychotic does that sound? That sounds fucking twisted.
Yep.
She texted me again after that, and all just to say, please let me know. And she texted me again August 23rd. Actually, she did say sorry one time. First time that she ever said this. She said, here, you can read it if you want.
It says, hi, Angelo. I just wanted to say I'm so sorry. I know you probably think this is all my fault, and I'm not asking you to feel bad for me, but I just wanted to say I'm so sorry, and I know you miss him so much. I wish he was here too. This should have never happened. He loves you so much, and you, I know.
Yeah, I know.
You know that. I don't even know what to say to you or just feel so bad. I hope you guys can forgive me because I'll always look at you guys as family. You don't even need to respond to me. Just wanted you to know I'm so sorry. Okay.
But see, even these texts that she sent me, even in this one.
I'm glad you guys remember a lot of the texts that we read. You guys are pretty good. This was shocking to read. And once again, so I could be with him forever. All about her. So disturbing. Yeah. It's just evil. I agree. ATS says that text also plays into wanting to be with him forever, even death. And no, she didn't end up getting in picture there. I don't believe that actually went through.
Okay, it maybe would have been something if it's like, hey, if it was just I'm so sorry, you know. But then she has to go just one line. It's one sentence of I'm so sorry, and then it goes, I know you probably think this is all my fault, and I'm asking you to feel bad for me. Why would I feel bad for you in this situation? How to take you one sentence of saying sorry, and then just to go to that, and then you're gonna say,
I know that since we gave her
it's
phone
like,
back
and then she
to
says,
her,
I hope you guys can forgive me. In the first text where you finally apologize, right? So I'm finally saying, I'm sorry I killed your brother. I hope that you forgive me. How's forgiveness and me feeling bad for you even on your mindset? Like, how is it even on? Like, how's it even on there? It should literally be like, I'm so sorry. Like, I about the pain. Like, it should all be
Well, it
about
shows that
who you're texting.
She's worried about what you think of her, so she's using the I'm
It's
sorry as a
everything.
buffer.
Like the whole entire consistency of her is just she's just self-absorbed and self-centered. Everything that she texts me, even if she's finally saying I'm sorry, it's about her. It's not even about me.
So I know since we gave her the phone, she's been back active on social media and all that. Any of your friends screenshot you anything? Have you, you know, we've received some photos of her in the wheelchair out and about.
I could definitely get some screenshots. I'm not on social media much at all.
Okay.
But the first thing I did hear of, and at the time, we didn't even know if this was her mom or her or what, because we didn't even know if she was even awake to use a phone. We didn't know how severe her injury was or anything, you know. And the first thing I seen from her, she didn't text my mom. She didn't text me. She didn't text my dad. She didn't text anybody in my family. The first thing I seen from her contacting anybody was she texted a modeling agency that reached out to her and said something. And she went on Instagram. But that was before.
Yes, we know this. Remember the text message? Oh my God, Kenzie, we want you to do promo for us. And she was like, oh my God, I've been wanting to for so long. Thank you. As she's healing in the hospital.
Like, you're going to go and reach out to a modeling agency on Instagram about to want to use your picture before texting
Several people in there.
Yeah.
Many people in between that should have gotten that text beforehand. You know what I mean? Right. And then, like, her mom, her dad, has still never even texted me once. I already previous to this had somewhat of a relationship with her mom, talking about her daughter's issues or whatever, and what I think or whatever, and you know, and it wasn't like we never talked before. You know what I mean? I'd come say hi to her in the driveway. You know what I mean? When she was dropping her off, and before she was driving, it was a while ago, but
But she definitely has your number. She could have
She's
reached out.
never said not even a word, not a peep, neither from her dad or nothing. You know what I mean?
Do you,
I was just gonna say that, just a thought that she always is concerned about who hates her, so we were, again, like I have to see her at the cemetery all the time. Now she's been sort of telling me when she's going, so I've been able to kind of avoid it. But, I'm still talking to her, told you I would.
That's all right.
Well, plus she dangles all the pictures of Dom and videos and claims she just found this, let me send this to you. And I know, just, come on, that's her way of just here to keep talking. But anyway, the one kid came over and introduced himself, said he never knew Dom, but he was good friends with Davion. They had met at Grace Church, and blah, blah, started talking. And, you know, so I saw Dom's mom, and Kenzie was there, and there was another lady there with her daughter. And I think the dad was there again. And she said, well, oh, just thank you so much for not hating me. And then every time, I'm just so scared to be here. Everybody in Strongsville hates me. I don't know what to do. And I said, oh, I'm sure that people don't hate you. You know what I mean? But she went to that concert in the wheelchair, that 𝗝𝗲𝗵𝗶𝗽 or whatever his name is. And
This is true. This is true. When Natalie said today that, oh, the Russos, you know, they had us over for some like little goodbye party. Yes, they didn't assume right off the bat that Kenzie was a schmurder. They actually gave her the benefit of the doubt, and they were thinking that it was actually, quote unquote, an accident. And so the Russo family was still hoping that she was okay and was still being nice to her. And Miss Russo was still texting her until they got word that they were investigating her. But I believe until her arrest, around the time of her arrest, is when they cut her off completely.
And she was there with her girlfriends and the one girlfriend's mom too. And they had her in the front row, and then she was getting piled on, I guess, because they get all, and I'm hearing this all from her, okay? that
You should not
were-
be in a wheelchair and
Yeah,
be at a concert.
they were all
you know?
piling in. I guess they do this dancing and they squish up and everything. So, you know, the monitors had to move her to the wheelchair to a different section and all of that. But, yeah. So, and I forget the
so
girl's name.
which
Lily-
concert was that? Because there's
Kid Cudi.
there's two that she's been to.
Listen,
Oh,
and
there's
listen,
two. I
just
only
for
This
the
is
record,
Nautica.
This is one at the Nautica Pavilion.
listen, here's the thing too.
We got
is,
pictures
like
from
Kid Cudi.
somebody from Strongsville who was there, texted us.
And here's the thing though too is like Kid Cudi, like I love Kid Cudi. Like when I was like, you know, like younger, and he's like all talking about Cleveland, like Cleveland is the reason, all this stuff, blah blah blah. And really like kind of took like a different edge to like he was like a rapper, but it wasn't rap. He wouldn't be talking about violence or anything like that. He'd be talking about like, you know, like communities and like himself and like stuff like that, you know, and like a little bit about pot and stuff like that too. But and I love Kid Cudi.
Just think, you guys, Natalie would not come on my channel because she knows that I would question a lot of what she's saying. It's just her being very dishonest really was just too much for me today. I was like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now we're hearing the truth from
I
Angelo.
was so distraught. I heard about the concert in June, and I was so distraught. I completely forgot until the day of the concert. People are, oh, we're going to the Cudi concert. And I'm kind of thinking like, dang, I wish I would have like remembered about that. But then also it's like, I don't even care. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, it's even like you have that much in you to like remember all these plans and like go do all this stuff. It's like, dude, it wasn't like, it's not like it's like your mom's like birthday. Like, yeah, you're not gonna like forget that. But it's like, you remember to go to a Kid Cudi concert and get a ride in your wheelchair down here and like go through all that work to go see a concert. But I get like 2 texts from you ever, and you don't even like say something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Just like
do me a
her,
favor.
where her mind's at just does not seem right to me at all. To be honest,
I'm gonna leave my card with you, but if anybody does send you text, we told people send them to us because I'm putting them in my report, showing them to Tim, just to kind of establish that pattern that, you know, since, you know, I don't want to say she's moving on, but she doesn't seem to care enough.
Since this tragedy, she's just
She's
gone on
been
living her
just
life.
out and about, and so just you know, even if you're not into it, just maybe text it to mom, have mom get them to me. via email so I can attach them to
Screenshots
the.
and stuff of
Yeah,
what she's doing
screenshots.
and everything.
Because I had those ones where she's
Yeah.
begging me to go in the house. That's what's even creepier.
Right.
That they're gonna call you guys about getting her stuff. She has not once said, she said to me, well, do you think Angela's gonna go in there and destroy my things? This is what she said. And I said, no, Angela's not gonna destroy anything. And she, I said, I can always get together what you have or something like that. She goes, but I wanna go in there. And she goes, can't you just sneak?
And I think Kenzie wanted to go into that house because she wanted to get that other phone where Dom had recorded her and the money and perhaps the weed.
Sneak me in and not tell anybody? And I just want to spend the day there because November 14th is our anniversary. And I'm just like, I can't even walk in there.
Makes you think what's in there that she wants.
So bad.
Yes.
Or why does she want, and how could you
Did
do
Dom
that?
keep cash in there?
We looked, that's one thing. They
The-
just had nothing.
Okay.
I know you were in Florida at the time of the tragedy here, but any idea why they were going down Progress to Alameda? Do you know in the past if they've used this as a shortcut to get somewhere?
Well, yeah, it tells me that they were coming, I forget if it's south or north or whatever. Pearl. Obviously, they were coming towards 82
Mm-hmm.
down Pearl, and then that's just a little cut through. You go, you know, they end up on Westwood.
Right, but I know. Do you know why they were taking that? Is this like a normal?
It's a normal cut through, yeah.
Normal cut through
Just,
she's always taken.
I mean, the reason that I use it is just
Okay, let's play devil's advocate. I'm willing because I know people will say in the comments like, oh, but maybe she was grieving. Maybe that was her way of how she grieves by partying and maybe smoking more weed and going out with her friends. I mean, again, I know she had turned 18 2 days after the crash, but where's Natalie, to stop her? That's not good advice. Yeah, go to a concert when you know that you're possibly going to be investigated and you're still in a wheelchair. And two, like you just killed 2 people. I'm just shook.
because avoid all the Pearl lights. Because you hit Pearl and you go light. You turn down Progress, you go right down Prospect. You have 2 lights, and then you're home. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I take it. I would assume it's the same reason.
Okay.
One thing I can tell you about that, or that I was curious about, like obviously just to wrap up a lot of what I was saying. You know what I mean? For one, like I heard that Dom was riding in the back seat. That's not true. So he was in the front seat.
Okay, well, that was what we were told I told you that from the funeral director said that.
That's wrong. He was front seat
He was
passenger.
front passenger,
Okay.
and Davion was in the back.
Okay.
Okay.
She said that another thing I can fill you guys in, and she said she went to a psychic, 3 days ago. I have to look at my phone. And so I said, well, what did he say? Cause I'm trying to get everything in writing. She goes, oh, no, you have to call me. Well, she said basically nothing, but what she did go on to say was that, the psychic made it very clear to her that the accident was caused because she swerved left. That's what I'm saying. So I'm just telling you, this is the latest story. Okay.
That's her story. Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Tell her to stick to that.
Yeah. I mean,
Tell her to stick to that.
yeah. So, that was the other thing. And you guys also need to be aware, which I don't,
Wait, but listen, here's the thing I don't get. She said that the psychic told her to swerve left,
know that she swerved left.
and that's why it happened.
Mhm.
Well, she swerved right off the road.
I'm just telling you, I don't
And
know the
then-
details. I'm just repeating what I'm finding out.
Mhm.
And now you made me forget what else I wanted to say besides
I'm
that.
sorry.
It's okay about the psychic. Oh, you guys should know that, so Dom's birthday was Saturday, and, he always went to dinner with his friends every year. That was a tradition. And there's times that there was family there, and sometimes it was just the friends. So I told my ex that you're welcome, but we're just gonna, he goes, what are we gonna do? And I said, we're gonna go to dinner with his friends, just like he would if you're welcome, but nobody else when I'm inviting. It's just what Dom would have done or whatever. So
I'll drop this without commentary tonight because I think this interview with Angelo is so important to the case. Kate Levinson says the denial stage is very serious, but I don't think she was doing anything healthy for herself nor processing grief properly. A normal person would still be in therapy 5 times a week. Girl, my parents would literally disown me if I tried to go anywhere. If my soulmate just passed because of me, I don't think I'd be in the right mindset to even think about going anywhere, much less a concert. Exactly. And welcome, Cowboy, to members, to the membership. I appreciate you. We will be having another members live tomorrow about Kenzie. So glad you're a member. Thank you.
Dad got all pissed off. He threw a huge birthday party at his daughter's house, cake, the whole bit, put up boards, put up pictures, and invited the whole Shirilla family was there.
That was
Dom's dad.
Dom's dad did this.
Your ex did
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
So I told you I don't, and again, he's the one who thinks that he's been told from,
voodoo,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, he said that the pendulum told him to forgive Kenzie to the fullest and that it's not her fault or something. And that he said literally that day, I'm gonna forgive her. And like, I haven't even been talking to him because he's just honestly such an idiot to be like, in my eyes, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what he could be thinking or whatever. But I mean, even for example, right? There was a situation where my cousin Antonio, right? He's 24, 25 years old, I forget. This is when I'm like 16. He's on the front of a boat, you know, sitting on front of a boat, and the driver hits a buoy, okay, in the water, cuts his legs off, he bleeds out, he dies. The driver's found with MDMA in his blood, besides from alcohol and like all this other stuff, you know, like you're thinking that he's gonna get some time, you know. My dad nonstop talked every day that this guy would come up about how much of a piece of shit he was and how much he wants to see him burn in jail and all this stuff. Well, the guy got put on like a 5-year probation with like a 15-year suspended sentence if he messed it up, and he ended up like beating up and robbing some old guy or something. And I don't even know how you like end up doing that, but did that, and then goes back to court. And my Aunt Nicole, Antonio's mother, is this court dates or this court case is in Florida. This is where like this happened at. So she's in, you know, up in Ohio, and she's on the video cam crying as a whole like written testimony saying about how she wants him to get the maximum time, all this stuff, right? I'm there.
He's referencing another case, but with the part of the documentary when she says, Kenzie says in the interview, Dom wanted to heal me and I wanted to heal him. I think that that's true. I think they both had things going on. They both needed healing. I think that's the only thing she said that was true, but she wasn't healing Dom. She was making Dom worse.
This court date finally just got wrapped up.
By that, I mean his issues that he had and his life, making his life worse. Thank you, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, for becoming a member. I appreciate you.
And the end of April. So just now, in the end of April of this year, like however many like years later, because the case was so long, the guy got sentenced to like 10 years in prison, right? My dad's like, at least he got 10 years, by which he has his whole fucking life in there, blah, blah, blah. So that's somebody, pretty identical situation. Somebody who killed somebody's son and our family in a crash while they were driving. Doesn't matter if they're high, sober, whatever, you know, but that's what happened. Everybody hates this dude's guts years later, and they want to see him burn in hell. But Kenzie does this. My dad talks to some freaking Ouija board, and he forgives her. I think it's pretty freaking screwed up, to be honest with you. And it's like,
there's a lot of things.
That is hard what he's saying about his dad. You guys think people go as soon as she went dressed and prepped? Yeah. Melly, don't you think it was cruel how she acted like she cared and then used what he told her against him? I know. It is.
It could be grief. It could be maybe she's something to hold on to that was close. Who
But
knows?
he never even hung out with her. He didn't.
No, it's not even that. He's been texting me saying that I'm not going to be happy until I let go of the hate in my heart. And I'm telling him it's not about having hate in your heart. Somebody killed your son. Someone killed my brother. It doesn't even seem like it was an accident. It seems like she took it upon herself to ram that car into that wall against both of their wills. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
I know Dom.
Let me ask you before you go any farther off that point. Everything you know aside, everything you've heard from people, everything you've heard here, you as a grown man, are you saying that's your gut feeling?
What do you think happened? Basically?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's my 100%. Since like, I mean,
Hold
listen,
on.
like, Since,
What do you think happened that
I
night?
think
Yeah.
that I mean, off of what I know and off my assumptions, I think that they were in some kind of fight. Dom tried to break up with her multiple times, even in July. It kept not like working out, whatever.
This is literally my theory. I'm going to restart this because that's what I think happened. I think, he was done with her and they were fighting
That
at the house.
Off of what I know and off my assumptions, I think that they were in some kind of fight. Dom tried to break up with her multiple times, even in July. It kept not like working out, whatever. They kept making back up. The only thing I could really think of is they were obviously in some kind of argument. Kenzie's known to be the kind of person that she's let us know she will never let go of Dom. And if she has to let go of Dom, she will not go on living herself. She's pretty much let that be known. And the whole thing that I think of is you're going 94 miles an hour. You don't have a very fast car to begin with. You were stomping that gas pretty much the whole entire time. There's no brake marks on the street at all. Even before the hit, you would think that some type of instinct would kick in and you'd slam on the brakes. But to my knowledge, she went straight into it. To me, it seems like they might have been in a fight, maybe not even arguing. I think if it was like vicious arguing if it was vicious arguing while she was driving, he would have tried harder to spin the wheel. So I could think of it, maybe they were lightly arguing and she starts racing. He's trying to talk her down, saying relax. She might have, I don't know what she had in her head. Okay, I know that we're breaking up, blah, 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 this and that. I don't know what she could have.
This is literally what I think too. I think that that Dom and Davion thought she was effing around. And by effing around, I mean that she was threatening him and she wasn't really going to run the car into the brick wall. Drive.
Possibly been thinking, but I can't go into details, obviously, because I have no idea. But whole idea, main points, I think that they were in a fight. I think that she took it upon herself to purposely crash into that wall. I think that he must have been trying to talk her down the whole time. They swerved off to the right at the end. I think he might have grabbed the wheel towards the end of it, maybe trying to spin him or something. Who knows? She could have been bear hugging it. I don't know. They're hitting bumps too. They're going 90. He could have not I don't know what's going through his head, But I do know that Dom never once in his life ever expressed to me any form of I want to kill myself, I want to die, ever. He wanted to do so much stuff. He wanted to start up his own shampoo lines, his own conditioner lines. He wanted to start up clothing lines. He wanted to get big in the music industry. He loved real estate. He was trying to get into buying houses. He had too many plans and too many goals for his life to plan anything like that. She's the only person who I've ever seen around him say, I will kill you and I will kill myself if this and this happens. Okay. When she's not with him, there's been situations, even the week before, there was two situations where he had to get picked up on the highway because they couldn't drive together. You know what I mean?
What type of, we don't care about pot, but what kind of drugs do you know about her using?
Good question.
Pretty much, honestly, just to my knowledge, just pot and occasionally alcohol. But I think even recently, she's not been a big smoker at all because I'd be over at the house and even Dom was even barely smoking. In the month of July and stuff, he just was getting over it, kind of he didn't really have as bad of problems with his ankle anymore, his problems, it wasn't muscle or bone problems. He had bad nerve problems.
Yeah.
Really bad nerve issues and stuff. And so he was pretty much getting over that. And I pretty much barely seen him smoking at all. And then Kenzie,
I think what Dom did, I know people will say, well, I've gotten some comments where they're like, well, Dom did this, Dom was that, Dom, and it's okay, yes, but this isn't about what Dom did. It's about what Kenzie did. She killed him, not the other way around. Dom's choice of smoking, etc., doesn't negate what Kenzie was doing and going through and why she's in prison.
I think she was getting sick off it or something. Some people have I forget what it's called, but you like smoke weed and you throw up, or you want to throw up at least, makes you sick or whatever. So to my knowledge, like she was pretty much not smoking.
So any talk about
And she
acid
wasn't
or
really a drinker.
shrooms, anything like that?
I heard rumors after the crash about there being acid involved and mushrooms and like all this shit.
You've never seen it though.
I don't believe that's the case.
What about medical? Did you ever see her pass out? Did Dom ever mention, we're sitting here and all of a sudden she just passed out? Anything of that sort? Did you ever witness anything? How about you, Ms. Russo?
No, not at all.
No, nothing
Never
like
heard, never
narcolepsy or nothing
seen
like
any
that.
type of medical issue? Okay.
The only things that we knew, and Ange just repeated it, and he sort of described the same thing I knew last, was the issue that's some condition with the marijuana. But I
So
thought
she
that
wasn't
was,
really
but
like-
I
yeah.
thought that was a while ago. I thought
Mhm.
she was over that, and then this gluten-free thing with her stomach,
Gotcha.
Food issues,
Okay.
yeah.
the food issues. So, but no other. She tried telling me the other day that she had some other medical conditions, and I think that was just fluffing to try to. Why wouldn't it have ever been mentioned to me before?
Gotcha.
Now he's dead, and you're going to mention this at the cemetery. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they're trying to come up with some other things, but I don't know. The parents went out and bought her that car. They bought her that car before she had her license. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a kid that you're worried about some sort of condition of driving, that was even just like with Christopher. I'm sure Christopher liked to drive, but I used to be nervous because of his mental health. So I've just never allowed him to get a driver's license.
Yeah.
Right?
It's as
Makes
simple as
sense.
that, you know?
If she had those conditions, those parents went, she is their golden child. They treat the other sister like a piece of crap. She's the pretty one. She's the smart one. She's the other one's got problems. Like they just everything. It doesn't matter how outrageous. The only reason.
Okay, now we don't know. I'm not calling Miss Russo a liar, but when she says that the other sister had problems, it makes me think that there was definitely something going on in the Shirilla household with mental health and maybe relationship issues, dynamics. And then, I mean, pretty much course of control. Dom was a victim of domestic violence. Thank you, Kim Watts. I agree. I absolutely agree. I'm just reading it. And hey, Caitlin, shoot, thanks for being here. This is I have a lot of questions about this stuff for the Shirillas.
She is their golden child. They treat the other sister like a piece of crap. She's the pretty one. She's the smart one. She's the other one's got problems. Like they just everything. It doesn't matter how outrageous. The only reason that they ended up going to Florida, because her mom wasn't going to go. And I even said, well, I didn't know the whole thing. I remember I was in and out of the hospital. So stuff was planned when I wasn't around, was they didn't think that they could check in because they weren't 21. So then the mother decided, well, I'll just go with you then before. Originally, she was just going to drive down there to check them in and leave.
Yeah.
This is
I
the
heard
stuff.
that,
I mean,
and I was
they
like,
do.
what?
They are out of control with her.
Oh, bliss
with
no.
her
And she was a juvenile at that point.
I didn't get to finish what I was saying about her smoking and drinking. Her drinking though, like the only times I've ever seen her drink, it's not like she's drinking liquor or anything like that. She's type drink like a Smirnoff Ice, like one of those like sugary malt beverages. You know what I mean? Drink like 2 of them to be fine. You know what I mean? So not be fine would be like buzzed or whatever. Or, like, but like she wasn't really like
She's
Getting
tiny.
slammed.
yeah, not a drinker really, not really a smoker either, honestly.
Is there anyone else you think we need to talk to besides Hench? Anybody you think would be, and again, like I told
I mean,
Mom, a lot of
just
people are not talking to us, but
a lot of other people I could think of. It wouldn't be anybody that could like have new information for you
Gotcha.
that would say like, oh, this and this happened or whatever. But I know a lot of people that, I mean, obviously like my buddies would all probably, I mean, I'd have to, I've talked to a couple of them about it and they all think like my one buddy thinks that she did it on purpose too and thinks that this and that.
We're trying to avoid a lot of like second, third, fourth hand knowledge. We're looking more for somebody who was close with Dom, who would have some kind of first hand
Yeah, no,
knowledge.
this buddy I'm talking about was close with Dom. They talked
Okay.
often, you know what I mean? But
listen, you got my card. Take a picture of it. Send it to some of your buddies. Encourage them to come talk to us. We can't compel anyone to talk. The few people who we think we need to talk to, who are not going to talk to us, are going to get subpoenaed to the grand jury.
Like, can I,
The
Can I ask you?
prosecutor is going to make them come talk,
right,
but
right.
not to the police. They're going to talk directly to the prosecutor. But some of their friends
Oh,
are
okay.
refusing to.
Some of
Mackenzie's friends, yes, are refusing to be forthcoming.
Right.
And who was that? Drum roll, everyone. Rosie girl. Rosie.
And I did tell you about her hitting him in the car when he hit the mailbox and stuff like that. right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
What was the other thing I was just thinking of? I said that about. I did bring up the girl that she supposedly pushed down the steps, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we have, we have, there's a Snapchat about
So
that
keep
that
you
she
on your toes, you
recorded.
know?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Hey, wait, I remember hearing about the situation, obviously.
The
When
big
did the story turn into that?
Okay, so the big story was this girl fell down the steps, blah, blah, blah. And so how did she fall and blah, blah. She had no alcohol in her system.
I'm going to rewind it. This part about the girl falling down the stairs, my initial opinion was that maybe that had something to do with the fight, but I don't think so anymore. I think there was other relationship things that were going on with Dom and Kenzie, but this is a very interesting story.
Snapchat about
So
that
keep you
that
on
she
your toes, you
recorded.
know?
Yeah.
So,
Hey, wait, I remember hearing about the situation, obviously.
The
When
big
did the story turn into that?
Okay, so the big story was this girl fell down the steps, blah, blah, blah. And so how did she fall and blah, blah. She had no alcohol in her system.
The guardrail and everything. you
Yeah,
know?
and
Handrail.
there's a handrail. And then as time went on, Kenzie was the one that told me personally, she said that these girls were really out to get her because they are accusing her of pushing this gal down the steps. I said, well, why in the world would you ever push that girl? I wouldn't push that girl down the steps. Just didn't think of nothing at the time. But after
Right.
the fact, I'm sitting there thinking, and I had asked that Houston when he called me. I said, do you hear that she pushed this girl down the steps? Houston believes she pushed her down the steps. Again, I know he's a little crazy or whatever, but he was the one that said that too.
Houston thinks that Kenzie pushed her down the
Pushed
steps
that
like
girl down the
firsthand.
steps. That's when she had that concussion and everything. She
Mhm.
fully recovered, but it was a serious thing.
I know, it was fucked up.
So for those of you who don't know, there was a girl at Dom's, they were having a party and she quote unquote fell down the steps, whatever, and she almost died. And a lot of people were saying that it was Kenzie who pushed her.
Yeah.
so the mailbox
I wasn't there,
incident,
but yeah, Don told me all about it. It
That's
was like
when
a
I was
horror
in the
story. He
hospital.
told me that.
do you remember when tentatively?
Yeah, it was
Hey, do you know something too? It's obviously this doesn't have to do with anything to. I mean, it has to do with something kind of, but nothing really. But that situation too with that girl, he told me that if he wasn't there, that was just like somebody else's house, she probably would have died. Like he said that
Yep.
he said that he like ran downstairs and started like supporting her head because she was leaking from her face, so she wouldn't like drown in like her blood and stuff. He said that some of her friends started grabbing her, shaking her, smacking her, telling her to wake up, started like trying to drag her up the stairs. They started freaking out, like this and that. He said that most people just ran out the house, dipped, just fled the scene. You know what I'm saying? He said that fucking like right off rip, he's like calling an ambulance, supporting her, holding her up. You know what I mean? Like he was like, he told me his whole body was covered in blood because he was just helping around and shit. And then I didn't know that she made a full recovery. That's thank God, because I was really worried. I remember hearing that she made a brain damage and all this stuff. And in a situation like that, after the initial injury, it really does matter a lot on how you care for the person.
Right.
After that, you're really sensitive. If your head's swollen or whatever, that's really tender, and
Right.
you know what I mean. But
I want to say March
of this year, 2022. Okay. Well, here's so I'm going to transcribe all these notes, and if I have any follow-up questions, you mind if I reach back out to you?
Oh, absolutely.
Like I said, just encourage whoever some of your friends are, whoever might have firsthand knowledge of Mackenzie threatening, or maybe Dom confiding in somebody about Mackenzie making threats or being suicidal, something of that sort. Encourage them to reach out to us. Chris Hench. Would he be willing to talk to? I just want to figure out the whole.
Yeah, I can bring him here because he right now doesn't have an operating vehicle. So,
Okay.
but she also always says to me all the time that it should have been me. It should have been me.
And Green makes a good point. In the text messages we did see when that whole girl down the stairs happened, Dom tried to buy her a really nice expensive purse for like, sorry that happened to you, like, etc. And Kenzie threw a fit and they had a big fight over that.
Figure out the whole.
Yeah, I can bring him here because he
Okay.
right now doesn't have an operating vehicle. So,
Okay.
she also always says to me all the time that it should have been me. It should have been me.
It's like
that died in that crash,
I-
and I think that was kind of a weird. Like I said when my son died, I wish, why didn't I die in the hospital? You could have taken me. I'm older, not him. That sort of thing. I wish it was me. That's not how she says. She says it should have been me, and I think that's a weird way to characterize.
How well
it.
did you know Davion?
Actually, I met Davion for the first time like a week before, maybe a couple days before I left for Florida, you
Okay.
know. And my knowledge to Davion is that like Dom, so like me and Dom, like the last year or so, we just haven't been hanging out as much as we normally would. To honestly, mostly all to do with Kenzie. Like he's always doing something for Kenzie, doing something with Kenzie. Can't hang out with me because of Kenzie, whatever, you know. And there was like a lot of there's like a lot of times I'd call him, I'd be like, like, what are you up to? Yada yada yada. And he's like, oh, I'm hanging out with Davion and Blair or Kenzie or whatever, you know. The first time I met Davion, he was working on Dom's Jag. I think he was just detaching a battery and putting like a new battery and stuff like that. And I walked up to him, said, "What's up?" There's I don't know if you ever heard of like the rapper like 𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗽. Probably not. He's like a mainstream like rapper, you know. But he kind of like looked like him. So I'm like, "Oh, it's 𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗽." I'm like, "Why don't you guys bring 𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗽 over here?" You know. I'm like, like having a good time with him. And then seemed like a really like good kid. Obviously, like very caring. You know what I mean? Like chill, all that. That was the one time I met him. I can't really say much about Davion.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, I'm gonna turn this off. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah. Let me see if my camera is working now because it wasn't earlier. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's every time I play that interview, it like lags. Who knows why? I don't know. Computer stuff. Crazy interview, right? I'll drop it on a video without commentary so people can listen to it again. Yeah, I know. The way the interview goes just resonates with the truth and the evidence backs it up, says it all. Yes, Amanda. And I think it was from A to B said something earlier about, it's not just what's in the documentary. There's been, I know, a couple of documentaries, but they don't include everything and they include different things, so it's not just what's in the documentary. And like, we've been covering this since 2024. So if you guys are newer to the text message, you can replay the old videos, but we have been reading them now. So I just haven't done another text message reading, but it's already scheduled. So we'll do that tomorrow. These hit way differently, right? Yeah, I'm finding all the content that we have reviewed in the past hits differently after everything we've seen. The documentary, Natalie, the families speaking out, another appeal. R.I.P. Dom. My heart goes out to the Russos and the Flanagans. Very sad. Anyways, especially after the documentary. Exactly. Especially after the documentary. So I'll be back tomorrow with more Kenzie lives. Thank you, Alexa, for becoming a member. We're going to do members only. We'll probably do a text reading and another call video tomorrow. So make sure you guys have your notifications on. Please drop a like, hype. Thank you so much for getting all the facts. Of course, thank you for being here. 32,000 text pages of text messages. Yes, yes. We have gone through them twice now. So I appreciate you guys for being here. I wanted you guys to hear what Angelo had to say. It's just so heartbreaking, but who thinks someone would ever do this? Exactly. And a lot of the family members at the time of the documentary filming, they weren't ready to speak out. Who knows? Maybe now. Maybe now they're they'll be willing to speak out, especially since Christine has her channel. And happy birthday, 𝗠𝗲𝗍𝗍. Is it your birthday? Happy birthday, love. Hope you have a good day. Shout out to all of you guys for being here. Please, please, please hit the like button. We'll continue tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good night. Please go watch other videos on the playlist, support. I would really appreciate that. And I shout out to the mods for being here too. And thank you, Carolina. You're doing a fantastic job at covering this case. Thank you. Exactly, Kim. I can speak the truth to power. I think that, oh, you guys talking about food. It is sad. I know, Valerie. So make sure you guys hit the like button, make sure notifications are on, and I will see you guys on the next live. RIP Dom and Davion. Have a good night, guys.